Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Nathan Daley. I am your law enforcement translator. I'm here to provide insight on a lot of difficult topics from the perspective of a law enforcement officer. You guys, I'm a 13-year veteran, here to give you all of my wisdom, the best that I can. I'm asking that you receive it. Now listen, you guys, I want to do this video. It's a special video. I want to say thank you so much for everybody, their support. As you guys know, we hit 7,000. That is a milestone achievement. For me, I didn't know this was possible. I'm so blessed for all the support that I've received, you guys. I just started my channel last year in October, you guys, and we are pushing forward. I want to thank you so much for all those who continue to donate and support the channel. You see value in this channel, you're spreading the message, and you're sharing my content. I thank you so much, you guys. It's so important that we have these conversations. We start speaking out against these issues that we see from an honest, transparent approach. And listen, I know sometimes I say things that could be a little bit controversial, right? I know that I could be a little aggressive sometimes, you guys. And again, I thank you. Now listen, there's some things I have to say. I know we're doing this 7K. Thank you so much video. But I also have to say, you guys, listen, I've been a little bit in and out of YouTube. I've been doing debates across different panels. And one thing that I've noticed over here on my channel, for those who are new, we discuss a lot of things involving the Black community as well as law enforcement. And again, I tell people all the time that I'm here for Black empowerment. I'm also here for law enforcement empowerment. Two can be true at the same time. And we have these difficult conversations because they're all intertwined with each other, right? So we know that this country has a very sensitive relationship with the Black community. As we know the history of this country, everybody's aware. Now listen, there's a lot of layers to this problem, and we talk about them, we peel them back little by little to have the deeper discussion. Listen, not everybody's comfortable in having it. I understand, I get it, but I'm asking people to be patient. I'm asking you to have an open mind. I'm asking you to take an opportunity to hear a different perspective. Listen, at the end of the day, you guys, we have to do something, right? Complaining is not going to be enough, and some people don't like when I say that. Is it complaining or is it venting? Is it expressing issues? Expressing the issues that go on in this country that have been going on for hundreds of years. These issues have not been addressed properly. We can all agree with that. But at the same time, we also have to argue that there are things that we can do that don't require the help of any politician, right? Anybody for that matter. There are things that we could do on our own, with each other, things that we could do by stepping up, putting ourselves in position of power to bring about real change. You know, so there's a lot of conversations that need to be had in regards to the Black community, and everything that affects the Black community affects everything else, right? The relationship with law enforcement is very unique. It's a very fragile one. And we have to talk about the real issues. We have to talk about how the Black community is used as political pawns, how law enforcement is used as a political pawn in order to influence and create drama, to create division. These things are real. We have to talk about how white people are used as political pawns to create division amongst Black people. You guys, there's a lot that goes on here, and we just have to be honest. So listen, I've had the pleasure of going to different platforms over the last couple months, having debates on different issues. And one thing that I noticed that the biggest challenge that's going to be facing the Black community is going to be other Black people. The battle of the mind, right? Fighting the mentality of some people is very difficult. It's very difficult. And I recognized this a long time ago, and I'm aware, right? As we all know, we are all very aware that there is some obstacles having to do with the mind, having to do with perception, perspective, and also hurt, pain, history. There's so many layers to this, you guys, and all we can do is be patient and take our time to unfold these issues. What else have I noticed, you guys? I've noticed that sometimes people misconstrue my actions. To be honest, my views can be a little bit radical. Some people would say, what do I tell them? I say they lack the imagination. If you don't have the imagination to solve a difficult problem, you guys will fail. What I've been running into lately is people who lack the imagination or the creativity to see Black people under better circumstances. We've been so saturated with the idea that we cannot do, that we don't have, or we cannot overcome, or we can't accomplish, that I think sometimes people get in the idea that looking at white supremacy and saying that, hey, it's so pervasive, it's in everything, it's in every system, right? Systemic racism, it's such It's such a real issue in every black person's life that they can't see us coming out on the other side. You guys, I disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Because what I'm starting to run into is the difference between black people that can and black people that cannot. What do I mean by that? Honestly, I believe it's safe to argue that there's a faction within the black community that cannot see the black community doing anything other than what we're doing now, which is a slow trot forward, and then a slow trot back. You guys, are we gaining any ground? Are we really making progress? What do I hear? I hear a lot of complaints. I hear a lot of complaining about what the issues are. But then I don't really see a lot of action, right? The complaints, I don't have an issue with. The complaints without solution is where I have a problem, you guys. If you come on my platform, or if we get into a debate and all you do is complain, I'm gonna have an issue with that. Listen, and I think sometimes when people hear me talk, or we talk about issues, we go back and forth on issues, it's almost as if you don't hear me complain about the issues, as if I don't believe the issues exist. And that's not the case, you guys. The reality is I know the issues exist. I know how we got here, and I know why we are still here. I don't need to complain about it in order to think about moving forward or to orchestrate a plan, a strategy, and tactics to get ourselves out of it. See, oftentimes I hear people who like to complain, but they never want to compete. So the question is, are we complainers? Are we competitors? You guys, this is a country, this is capitalism at its finest. We are in the divided states of America, right? We're in a country where color rules over everything. Division is what it is. It's individualism. It's every man for himself. It's a race between races. Everybody is playing on a team. We are playing as individuals. What is the reality? You can complain if you want, or you can compete. It's that simple, you guys. It's really that simple. When we have discussions over here moving forward, you guys, listen, I know this video is not going to reach everybody, but I'm telling you, when we have discussions over here, don't come with your complaints. I don't want to hear about your passionate arguments about what the history looked like. We're well aware. We're well aware. But when you complain, what does that say to me? What type of vibes does that give me? It gives me someone. It makes me believe that the person that I'm talking to is a coward. It makes me believe that the person that I'm talking to has no courage. They lack bravery. They have an inability to be creative. They can't critically think. They believe everything someone tells them. They lack the ability to do the research on their own. They're not confident in black people. This is what I get when I hear people who complain all the time. They have nothing else better to say. They can't say anything positive about our people. They don't believe our people can get ourselves out of this rut. So when I hear complainers, you guys, that's what I get. Come to me with solutions. Tell me what creative ways you can figure out how to unravel this puzzle, this conundrum that we've been put in. Some people say, hey, listen, you got to leave these people alone, right? You can't save all black people. It's not our job to save all people. It's our job to change the environment that we're in. What's the other part of this problem? You hear these things all the time. Oh, our ancestors, please, we're calling on you to give us strength so we can overcome the oppression of modern day 2022 America. What the ancestors say? Oppression? Oppression? Help? Strength? What do you mean? You guys, we did all the work. We handed you the perfect opportunity. We've been beaten, hung, thrown, torn apart, dismantled, burned alive, fed to alligators, abused, sexually assaulted, Jim Crow, black codes, segregation, right? The ancestors are saying, hold on, the ancestors are telling you, what strength do you need? We did all the heavy lifting. You simply just have to be great. And we're struggling to do that. It makes me wonder, could the black people of today survive the 200 years of yesterday? Question. Are we strong enough? Do we have the mental fortitude to overcome the oppression of our ancestors? One would argue that we're weaker now than we were before. right? I'm traveling all throughout YouTube having these conversations, and I'm so disappointed about the type of feedback that I get from some people. Again, they lack the imagination to see us great, right? It's scary, you guys. I hear a lot of tough talk. It's just a lot of brave talkers behind avatars that have a lot to say, that want to question those who show their face and stand up and try to do the work. We want to put them down. We want to insult them. We want to call them names, right? Where are you? Who's doing the work in real time? What are we talking about, you guys? Listen, everybody wants to be a Black Panther. I hear a lot of strong Black Panther talk. You guys, you don't have the fortitude. You don't have the mental fortitude to be what the Black Panthers were then. There's no way. There's no way. I don't see it in you. I see a bunch of black kittens. No Black Panthers. Listen, you guys, the reality is it's hard work. It takes sacrifice. Many of you struggle to boycott social media for 48 hours. Come on. I challenge you, when you come on this channel to have a real discussion, I don't want to hear your complaints. Tell me how you're going to compete. I want to hear your solutions. Tired of the noise. Tired of the noise, you guys. You don't like my ideas? Okay, give me a better one. You don't like the direction that I'm speaking in? Then show me something different. All you complainers. Are we complaining? Or are we going to compete? Oh, well, every time you talk about a solution, people throw their hands up. Hey, you guys, this is what we should do. If we orchestrate this way, do that. Oh, but the white man, he's keeping us down. He's doing this. Oh, systemic racism, the laws. Oh. All right. Now what? Oh, the police. What are we going to do? They're lynching Black people on the streets. Okay. Now what? Oh, Wells Fargo won't give out any home loans for African Americans. We don't have any banks of our own. What are we going to do? All right. So now what? Oh, the system is treating us so unfair. The criminal justice system, it's so broken. Oh, Black people are treated so bad in the system. What can we do? But I don't want to be a lawyer, an attorney. I don't want to be a police officer. I don't want to be a judge. But ancestors, give us strength. Let us march. Let's march again. Let's keep marching. But I don't want to apply for any of these jobs to make the community better. I don't want to sacrifice that. Now what? Right? We hear the complaints. We hear the complaints. Guess what? Nobody cares. Newsflash. Black America, nobody cares about our complaints. They don't care. Oh, reparations, ADOS. We're gonna. Now what? Oh, Joe Biden's he's gonna give us free tuition and wipe out all of our student loan debt. If we just vote for him and Kamala. I know they're not racist, but she did say Jim Crow Joe. Racial jungle. Now what, you guys? Listen, if you don't support me and what I'm doing, you're not Black. That's the reality. You're not Black. I think the problem that we have is that we want to complain, though the complaints are legitimate. But after you complain, then what? What's next? Just because you don't hear me complaining about the past doesn't mean I don't understand it. Doesn't mean I don't agree with why we are here. You guys, listen, we're not here because we want to be. We're here by design. You guys, if you want to complain, there's plenty of other channels. There's other places to go. There's organizations that have perfected the art of marketing the complaint, marketing the issues, never marketing the solutions. They're professionals. Over here, you guys, we talk about the solutions. We have the difficult conversations over here. You guys, I'm challenging you to come out into the deep end. Now, if you want to be passionate for a minute before you give your solutions, then by all means, you're welcome. But I don't want to hear the complaints. We already know what it is, right? Those who know, know. Why do we need to keep talking about it? Oh, if we don't talk about it, rehash it, then we're gonna. I've never seen so many excuses being made. Guess what? We got a late start. We've been oppressed. Cuckoo, cuckoo, here we are. Welcome to America, black people. It is what it is. Now it's time to talk about the solutions. Now it's time to do the work. Some people say we're doing it. Well, we need to do it harder. We need to do it harder. Listen, I apologize for not coddling your feelings. But nobody cares. Listen, welcome to my channel, you guys. This is Real Nathan Daley. We talk about difficult conversations over here. If you think you can swim, I'll bring you out here in the deep end. If not, you'll drown. So listen, let's get to it. More interesting content coming forward, you guys. I have some great interviews. I'll be bringing more officers to the panel to talk about their experiences, what it's like to be an officer, what changes we can bring, what we can do as a community, what we could do as a nation. We're going to talk about black empowerment, what we could do with our fathers, our juveniles, our teens, what's missing. How do we repair these issues? How important is black family to fixing this problem? How is poverty connected to crime? Where does poverty come from? Broken families, right? Generational wealth issues. You guys, there's so much work that needs to be done. Work that we can do that doesn't require divine intervention, political intervention, you guys. These are the things that we can do on our own. These self-guided, self-regiment, self-repairing things that we ourselves can do. Each person managing their own lives properly. Each person managing their own family properly, you guys. We can reverse engineer this entire problem. Now, some would argue that the conditioning is so pervasive, you guys. Listen, we don't own anything. We don't own anything. So we look at the weapons being used against us and we turn them back on ourselves. Reverse engineering, you guys, and fix the problem. Listen, I'm challenging you guys to be creative. And with that, you guys, let these truths find you where these lies have left you. And with that, good night and God bless. Stay tuned.